Hi, Karen Lovely here, and I'm so excited because today's all about girl power prosperity. Woo, woo, woo! What does that even mean? Well, right now I'm focusing on empowering men, and that has been my big focus right now. However, no human left out, and I've come from empowering women, but today specifically we're focusing on girl power because I was so honored to have been contacted by this amazing woman all the way in Germany. And she emailed me and asked about being a guest on my podcast. And so, of course, I get quite a few inquiries about that. And I set up a call with her and we see what we had in common. I checked out her website. And there was a lot of similarities and a lot of massive things in common. And so that said, I am so happy to have her joining me today. So my hashtag empowering you through us. So this is about having another human and a female coming together, co-creating incredible, miraculous empowerment for all humans. Just because you're a woman, just because you're a man doesn't mean you can't benefit from this. As a matter of fact, I highly recommend this more for men to understand us women a little bit more. That said, I want to say BK of the manifestingsquad.com, welcome and greetings from the US all the way in Germany. How are you?
Hi, Karen. Thank you so much for having me today, and I'm great. I'm so happy to talk to you today and to do this podcast with you.
Yeah, thank you. And I love that you are in Germany and we can stay connected. It feels like you're just, down the street on your cell phone. So this is amazing. And so I want to start with number one. What was it that attracted you my way, and I believe to my podcast, yes, and then to reach out and contact me in person?
So I stumbled upon your podcast through the topic self-love, and then I saw your website, and I saw that you work with women who were abused, and that clicked for me because I have been in an abusive relationship, and I am all about empowering women to take power back into their own hands and to get out of that toxic situation.
Okay, that's beautiful. And it was just searching on the internet, correct? And you just you were specifically searching podcasts.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, wow. How fantastic. Okay. And then there was something, again, that was attractive for you to email me. Was there anything specific that you could point out that...
It was my... Oh.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
It was my intuition. I'd say it was my intuition.
Ooh.
I just thought, okay, this is... Yeah, there is something, I need to contact her, and I learned to listen to my intuition.
I love that, especially as, I am also a spiritual intuitive, so that's beautiful to hear. Okay, and I so appreciate that. Okay, so let's get started. Let's talk more about, because as, you also connected, you said in our first introductory call, to my story. And what I come from, my depression and my suicidal tendencies and my sister's, slow suicide and all of that. Let's talk about this abuse that you came from to become, and let me go through who you really are in your career and your purpose, is a manifestation coach who helps women to manifest unlimited abundance by breaking through their manifestation blocks. Also, you have worked with numerous clients to supercharge, love that word, supercharge, their manifesting power using the law of attraction with your unique skills and intuition. And so your story is so pertinent in terms of what you come from to who you are today. So let's go to the abuse first. Can you tell us a little bit about that background story?
So yeah, I was in a relationship with a man, and everything started out fine, actually, or good. I have to say, it started out good. And we were together for a year and a half, about a year and a half, and it was going good. And then, slowly, the abuse started. But of course, I didn't realize it. That it was abuse.
Mm-hmm.
He was just a master manipulator, and I didn't realize that he actually slowly started to limit my contact from friends first, later from family. And he sold that really, really good. He always said, yeah, I only have your best interest in mind, and I want the best for you. And yeah, it just started so slowly. It's like boiling a frog slowly in water.
Oh.
You don't realize it
Mm-hmm.
until it's too late.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
So yeah, that's how it started. Yeah.
Yeah. So, right, everything seemed normal, and this is not unusual at all. As a matter of fact, in the codependent abusive relationship dynamic, this is often how it is. And I hate to say this, but it's that whole grooming thing that we talk about. And so it just started slowly happening. So on the outside, most likely, and I'm asking, things looked good, right? You were attracted to each other. You had stuff in common. What was the first red flag?
Wow, the red flags. I realized the red flags really later on, because all the red flags, when I think about it back from this point of view, it was definitely starting to isolate me.
Mm.
So when I think back, that was actually the red flag. But while I was in that relationship, I didn't see that. And the red flags came much later when I just started to feel really bad. So the feeling where I thought, okay, something is really going wrong, because I feel bad all the time and I don't want to feel bad.
Yes. And again, it's just one thing, then we say, oh, okay. And I know this from my last, my own relationship. There was something that told me, I don't know that we're quite a match, but I was so attracted to him. He was so attracted to me. And we, it was good. And it wasn't so much abuse, but the one thing that I can relate to is that he didn't support my big dreams, and same thing. At first I was like, maybe he doesn't quite get it. I'll give him some more time. And then it just had to happen over time. It's like the first time, then the second time, then the third time. And that's what you're saying. And we want to talk about this because, we'll never get that time back. The sooner we can acknowledge and become super conscious of the white flag, the yellow flag, right? Then the red flag, the better we're going to overall feel, yes, and be able to remove ourselves from the situation. So what was a final straw for you when you said, that's it? I'm done. However you said it.
Actually, the thing is, I manifested he breaking up with me.
Ooh.
Because I didn't have the strength. Yeah.
Ooh, beautiful. Can you say a little bit more about that? What does that look like? I'm intrigued.
So, I started to do my own things on the side. I started to have more and more contact with friends and family, but I didn't tell him but that was me actually protesting against his control.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it was covered. I didn't have the courage to tell him.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was afraid what would happen then, right?
Yes.
So yeah, that was kind of my hidden my hidden strength, where I was building up my strength very slowly, and I didn't mention anything. But of course, he started to realize at one point that something was off.
Mm-hmm.
And he would all question me, and he would ask me, who do you talk to, and where do you get these ideas, and so on. And I would always say, I don't talk to anybody, because I wanted to protect the people that I was talking to, and I wanted to protect myself. But me doing all of that eventually led him to realizing that he had lost control over me.
Yes. Wow.
And because he had lost control over me, I wasn't the victim anymore. He couldn't control me, and when he couldn't control me, I was not interesting.
Wow.
For him anymore. So that's, yeah.
I love this.
So that's when he realized, okay, I cannot control her, and that's when he broke up with me.
Right, and
of course, he terrorized me. But yeah.
No, sorry. He terrorized you?
Yeah. When he wanted to break up with me, he wanted to have the truth, and he terrorized me. He threatened me. He threatened family, friends, and everything. And yeah.
Wow. So when you say threatened, it was mostly mental and emotional. Is that the?
Yes.
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 Which is just as devastating, if not more. It was the whole mind game thing.
Yeah.
But that's still petrifying and very scary and terrorized.
Yeah.
Wow. And your way of handling that was to not fight back, but actually you didn't feed into it. You didn't instigate anymore. Is that, you didn't keep poking. We call it poking the bear. You were able to stay in that situation, and then he kind of deflated. Is that kind of what happened? Where he got
Yeah. When when he wanted to hurt me, of course. That was his goal.
Yes.
Because how could I was the villain who had stolen his time away and stolen everything from him away. And he wanted to hurt me. And I just let him. I didn't have any other choice than letting him hurt me until he felt he had hurt me enough, and then just left.
Wow. And thank goodness nothing more serious happened, and you're still alive and well and beautiful as you are, inside and out, in that order. But the point is, this is not unusual. And the message we want to get across here is, regardless of the situations we're put in, we still have the ability to take our power back, yes, and not just survive the situation, but you turned around and made the best of the situation, to where what you learned, how you did it, the practices, becoming very proficient at it, now you're helping other women in situations of, taking their power back and having the ability to manifest everything and anything, the heart desires. So this is amazing, and you just sharing this is so inspirational to me as I'm listening. So now, here you are, he leaves, and then kind of just what happens in short from that point forward, as to you really going for what you wanted for yourself?
Yeah, so after also healing myself, picking up pieces of myself, right, I made a decision that I wanted to make the best out of that situation. I wanted to learn and grow from it and turn that into positive power and not stay in the victim mentality, but use that energy to create the life that I wanted to have for so long.
Yes. So what was about the time frame from that ending, him walking out, to you gaining your power back, to, where you really felt not just yourself, but better than you've ever felt before? How long did that take?
It was a slow process. So it took me 3 months to recover. So for 3 months, I just needed to heal.
Yes. Wow. Actually, that's not that long.
Present.
I'm sorry. That's not that long.
Yeah, but yeah.
It feels long when you're in it, though.
It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels so long when you're in it. And after 3 months, it took me 3 months where I could start to focus on the future. So for 3 months, I was just in the present moment, just try to get over the day, make the best out of each day. And then after 3 months, I could think about it. I could think about my future and what I wanted to have for my future. And to start take a step forward.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
and then it was what I want to say. It's not something that was done like, okay, after 3 months, and then the next day I was back to normal. After 3 months, I was able to look to my future, and then of course it still needed time to heal, and it was a slow process, and it's going to take time, and it's okay.
Yes,
it's okay that it takes time.
Absolutely, and the truth be told, there's no other way around it. I couldn't just jump from my own suicide attempt and my sister dying and say, okay, I'm good. It's been 6 months, 9 months. No, it took years for me. I mean, that's very tragic, but it takes a long time. And to allow ourselves the patience, yes, and the forgiveness and the compassion, and however our healing process takes, it takes. And that's what I'm hearing you say. And it definitely doesn't, it's not just one and done. It's not just, the next day we're good, or in the next week. And it still continues. That's how I see it. It still continues over a lifetime, doesn't it? In every aspect of life.
Yes.
Yes. So, okay, so now what was the one big, epiphany that you can share with us for anyone who's listening in a similar situation? And abuse can be, of course, any type of physical, emotional, sexual, abuse, domestic violence, but it could also be neglect, being ignored, being, that's also actually very traumatic form of abuse. Does that make sense? So if you could just give us just the one big thing that made more difference than anything, is there something you could share with us?
Yes. So I thought about, why did I get in a situation like that? And then I heard Oprah saying, we don't attract what we want. We attract what we believe about us.
Yes.
And that was where I thought, oh, wow, okay, what I wanted was, of course, a loving relationship. But when I looked at what I believed, it made it clear to me why I had attracted that relationship.
Yes.
So what I believed was that I am not smart enough, and I need a strong man who takes care of me because I am not able to take care of myself.
I love that, because that's my whole shtick, is we got to dig deep below the surface, and you took the time to do this. And that's so beautiful, because that's the whole premise to unblocking our inner power, but especially our manifesting power, as you call it, and attracting what I call self-abundance, yes, and physical abundance, material abundance, everything abundance, whatever it is, love, family, a beautiful home, beautiful vacations, whatever it is, that's the bulk of it. So is there anything more you want to say in regards to that? I just love what you just said.
So, yeah, when I just looked at that, what I believed, I saw why I have let him go so far. And then, of course, he probably sensed that I had a belief like that, and he totally played me for that. Mm-hmm. He always said, you cannot take care of yourself. You cannot make it on your own. You need someone who guides you. And, he played me so well. Right, just destroying. When you have a belief like that, you probably don't have a big self-confidence, at least not in that area, maybe. And then when you get just your self-confidence, you destroy it even more. You just stay in that situation. But luckily, I was able to discover that and find out what was my belief about myself, about love, that I had this mental block, and I understood why it wasn't working for me, and that I had to change my belief on a deeper level to really move forward and to manifest not only small things, but really my big desires and dreams of being free and independent and believing in myself. And sometimes, or very often, we have a block or belief that is in our subconscious mind, and we are not even aware of it. Mm-hmm. And that just makes it hard for us, that we manifest things into our life that we do not know why we do that. Mm-hmm. So it's so important to find out about the blocks so we stop self-sabotaging ourselves. I always say, think about what will happen if you never find out about your block. Luckily, I found my block, so I know next time I won't get in a relationship with someone like that, because I know my block and I can work on it.
That's right.
So it's just so important for our lives to really dig deep in and figure that out.
Yeah. So let me recap, and this will do it, is having the courage to dig deeper, but not, what does that mean? To ask ourselves the hard questions, the confronting questions. What is it about me that created this situation? And to look within self. And I can say the exact same thing for my life. I started to blame people in the world and circumstances that I had no control over for my pain and my depression, when it was really because of my blocks within me. And a lot of times, well, I mean, I hate to say it, but if you're going to do anything to get to the next level, is to look deeper into yourself, take responsibility, and see what is blocking us from within. And most people will not do that, because it's the scariest thing to do. Isn't that true, B? It's very
Yes,
scary.
it's absolutely true.
Mm-hmm. And do you know what? You said it. I love this. You were doing the work. You were asking the questions. You were seeking like I was. And that's also what I want to get across is we must proactively look. And so if you're watching Oprah, then you're looking for guidance because that's what she's all about. And I love what her quote. And, we think we want a certain person, but we actually end up attracting someone who feeds right into our disempowered beliefs. And so you were very wise to look in that direction. And I'm saying that's the direction that's best to look because it has the most amount of answers and power. Okay, so now, boom, boom, and I love my hashtag, real, raw, relatable. I so relate. Now, let's go to your number one unblocker in terms of manifesting abundance. What would that be?
Well, after discovering, you need to heal that block, of course. And what I love to do to heal blocks is I sit in meditation. I connect to the higher power or the source energy, and I turn to love. So I work with love. I let the love of the source energy just work through me.
Beautiful. So that's the healing process is the number one unblocker, you're saying, and you do that by meditation and connecting to source energy and very loving source energy. Is that what I just heard, just to recap?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Beautiful. Okay, I love that. And can you, give me a result of that? In doing that, how long do we do that? What has the actual desire show up?
Oh, so it can be different. It can take different long for different people. Mm-hmm. Some people just turn to love and release that energy or that block very quick. And for some, it takes longer. But the more often you turn to love and you work with that source energy, the faster you will get results because you will be able to release that energy faster. And I do it really on a daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
Just set the intention to connect and to feel the love. And especially, you can do that especially when you feel there is fear coming up or anxiety coming up or frustration or desperation. So any lower frequencies, any emotions that have a low frequency, you can just set the intention to connect and turn to love.
Yes, turn to love.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. I love hearing this. And it seems almost too simple at first glance, doesn't it? Yeah. And yet, right? It does. And yet, it really has so much power. So much power. And on a daily basis. So as I always say, the results show up with more practice and frequency and consistency. That's, again, very simple. And regardless, even if there's nothing that a person even has to have or they think that it's going well, you can never lose by sitting with self and connecting to love energy. It's really about that deep love energy and connecting to it and actually feeling it from within is what I'm hearing. Right, B? Is that you can never lose by doing this. Not only that...
you can definitely never lose.
Yeah, you can never lose, and it could actually amplifies what I'm even hearing, for myself. Yes? And sometimes, I have a very full, busy life. I have a lot of responsibilities. I have a lot of dreams that I've created in my life, which require a lot of time and energy. And I appreciate our conversation. This is why I always love having guests like you on my podcast, is a reminder for myself, especially when you have a very busy life and lots of animals to take care of and a ranch to maintain, is to really take that time and just for a few minutes, correct? Like how many minutes do you usually do it daily?
So I had this issue with losing focus, actually.
Yes.
So what I do now, when I do not have time to sit half an hour now on meditation or something, I just use that method to connecting to love. When I do daily activities, when I get ready in the mornings, when I brush my teeth, when I take a shower, it's time that I use to connect and to set intentions, and I call it the no extra time approach, because many people have just so busy lives, or they forget about doing the practice and do not really prioritize it. So, and I understand that we are all so busy, as you just said. You have so many things to do. So it's just, you can use any time where you have like mental free time, when you walk your dogs, when you drive somewhere. Why don't you use that time to connect and set an intention?
Yes, I love that. So what we're really saying are there no excuses, and that it doesn't take that much time out of the day, whether you set it aside or do it while you're in motion. And I love hearing that. So, it really, even 5 minutes of sitting still is so powerful. Wouldn't you agree, B, that just 5 minutes of meditation, connecting to source and love and gratitude, is extremely powerful and makes a difference? Yes?
Yes, absolutely. Even if you wake up in the mornings and then sit still for 1 to 5 minutes, that will improve your day already. And yeah, I love to do that. And yeah.
Beautiful. Okay, so now last question. Same thing in terms of the law of attraction. I love the law of attraction, and have been doing it my whole life in my own ways, and then evolving and becoming more proficient or perfecting it more and more over time, to have things show up faster with the least amount of downtime, waiting time, stress time. So what would be your number one tip in terms of maximizing the power of the law of attraction?
That would be become a receiver.
Woo! Girl! I love it. Woohoo! Wow. Tell me more.
So what I mean by that is, I observe the most successful manifestors who are not even aware that they're so good at manifesting. And the common denominator that I found was they are great at receiving. So think about it. How easy is it for most people to do a favor, to give a present, to make a compliment? But how hard is it for many people to ask for help or for a favor, to receive a compliment or a present. And I think for most people, it is so easy to do a favor or to give a present, and it makes them happy. But it feels a bit uncomfortable to ask for a favor, or when you get a compliment, you just sometimes don't know how you should react to it.
Mm-hmm.
But the most successful manifestors, they are great at giving, but also great at receiving.
Mm.
So
Woo.
you need to practice to become great and just comfortable at receiving.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amen, girlfriend. Okay. Yes. I absolutely love hearing this. And you can never, I know this. Yes. I mean, I know it. And yet, do I practice it enough? No, I do not. It's so beautiful to be reminded. I love, love, love that answer. To become a receiver. Now, which is very different than becoming a taker receiver. Yes? We're talking give and take, give and receive. The saying is give and take. That's the cliche. No, give and receive. Give and receive, give and receive. I love hearing this. Can never hear it enough. And givers are usually really poor receivers. Is that true to you from your point of view, B?
Yes.
Yes.
I know so many people who are giving,
Mm-hmm.
which is great, but they never learn to receive and allow things to come to them.
Exactly. And now I have to ask, so what's our number one blocker to unblock our ability to receive?
It's something that you need to practice, and just practice it with I think it really comes down to practicing.
Yes.
You can just practice that by giving yourself a gift from time to time. Why don't you buy yourself flowers, or take yourself out for dinner, or when a friend invites you for coffee, just accept it gracefully, and do not think about that you have to give something back. Just lean back and feel good about it, or even learn to ask a stranger for directions or the time, or just really little things. Start practicing it, and it will become easier and easier with time.
Yes, amen. Because we're talking once again about the training for it, the practicing of it, yes, and repetition, healthy repetition. And as you're speaking, you know what I'm thinking? Yay, I'm going to give myself a new horse. Girl, what do you think about that? I'm about to receive a new horsey. Oh, I love that we can laugh about that. And I am serious, okay? I am serious.
Yeah.
And I already have 5 horses. And I sometimes go, oh my God, I got to give my horse, medication. But as you were saying that, and as you were speaking, this wave of love, happy energy came through. Going, okay, universe, I'm ready to receive my new horse. Thank you, B. Wow.
Great. Yeah. Do it.
Yes. Because I just had said, no, I'm not ready. And I know exactly the horse has to be exactly the spirit of my very first horse. So it's a tall order, yes, of what I specifically want to manifest. And I'm very specific in my manifestations. And so I'm just putting it out there to the universe. And all the way to Germany and Europe and everywhere. Because I keep saying, no, and I have to take care of another horse. And I have to do this, and I have to do that. No, do you see I'm blocking myself from receiving?
Yeah.
One of my biggest dreams since I lost that horse. And I believe in animal reincarnation. I believe in reincarnation in humans and animals. And I've already had my doggie, my Millicent, reincarnated from losing my other dog, Angelica. And the one thing I've been wishing for many, many years since I lost my abuelo, that's his nickname, abuelo, is grandpa, because he was the oldest, wisest stallion in the barn. And he came all the way from Mexico, and he was a fierce lion horse. Like, he is a little dangerous even, and yeah, and so gorgeous. He looked like a Roman Trojan horse warrior, and he's so beautiful. And he's also my centaur. You know what the centaur is? The half man, half horse. When you look, when you look in his eye, you could feel his spirit, almost as if it were human. That feeling. And anyway, you're receiving the energy, and I'm receiving back as you're listening, putting it out there to the universe, and I'll know him. Of course, I want him to look so similar to that Trojan warrior, and he has such a beautiful picture. As a matter of fact, I'll use that for the podcast, part of it, in the different images that I use. But I want to say that we must be very specific too in what we're asking for and wishing for and desiring. And then most importantly, the ability to receive it. So why would I not receive this horse that I've been wishing for, reincarnated, his spirit to come back to me in the form of another stunning, and I mean stunning, gigantic, long-maned, gorgeous, gorgeous horse? Why would I not want to receive that when I've been wanting it? Yes? Would you like to add to this? Yeah. What else would you like to say?
Yes, absolutely. You can. I manifested, and it just came to me like horse therapy after when I went through. Yeah.
Wow.
I was just telling someone what happened to me, and she said, "You know what? I have a friend, and she's doing like horse therapy. Would you want to do it just for free?
Wow.
She wants to help you." And I was like, "Oh yes, yes."
Yes.
It was amazing.
That is amazing. Yeah. I love horse therapy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And and there you go. Yes. So it's not and we don't even need to put it out there that much. I've manifested my miniature horse. No. Right? It doesn't. It just takes one time, 2 times, and it shows up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love this.
I was like. I just remember a few weeks before that manifestation happened, I saw a few horses, and I asked the lady, "Oh, can I just play with them a bit?" And she said, "Yes, sure, of course." And I thought to myself, "Oh, wouldn't it be really nice if I had horse therapy?" Because I had heard so many good things about it, and they are just so beautiful animals. Mm-hmm. And yeah, it just happened within a few weeks. Just like that.
Yes, just like that. And if you weren't willing to receive that, because it was free and as a gift, yes, it wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. Yes.
And so we can't stress enough how beautiful and important and vital it is to master the ability to receive and to really internalize, assimilate, take in that energy and the gifts, because they're all over the place. And many, many people love giving. Yes, so why not allow them to give to you and you gracefully receive it? And this is the best thing to end this podcast with, because actually it's the first thing to think about and to really take in. And, now I'm thinking, okay, why am I blocked? What's the block for me not to have this horse come into my life? And I'm wondering if you see anything, B, but right out of the gate, one of the blocks is something of, oh, it's more responsibility, it's more work. And, you know, that's what's showing up. Do you have any words of wisdom or insights?
Yeah, the intuition that I got immediately was, you already have 5 horses, you said?
Yes.
1 horse more or less, it doesn't actually make any extra work. But if you take care of 5 horses or 6 horses, where's the difference?
Oh no, now I'm in trouble because you're right. I want to say, oh no, you're right. And I've said it and coached it myself, is when I got my first horse, you know, I said, oh, I could take on a second. Well, eventually I got up to, I don't know, one time 9 horses, and I've had a total of 11 now or 12. Over time, I don't have that many now because they've passed, but you're right. I absolutely have to say, what's the difference? The block is me. The block is I'm making excuses not to take on the responsibility. Does that make sense? To, if this is a big point, not only must we receive, is that when you want to manifest your dreams, it comes with work. It comes with responsibility, doesn't it? It comes with all the extra things to maintain and sustain those dreams. And that's the resistance for not just me. I go through that, is we just found this right now and dug a little deeper into it. But it's having me also say right now, this is also what stops a lot of people from receiving, I believe, is that, is that it's one thing to ask for and get it, which that's what I've been doing my whole life. It's a whole nother ball game of unblocking what's stopping us from maintaining and sustaining it. And that's the deeper sense of, this, of what is happening behind the scenes or subconsciously. Is that making sense to you right now?
Yes, it does. And I always say words that we use have so much power. And if we talk about responsibilities that we have, the work that we have, I say change it up to co-creation. Because then you're co-creating with the universe, you're co-creating your dreams. Yes, you put in energy, but you also co-create with the universe, and you create something beautiful. You create life and opportunities and visions and dreams and beautiful energy.
Exactly. Thank you. Oh, thank goodness you contacted me. And we attracted each other. It goes both ways, yes?
Yeah.
Is so beautiful. Like, stunning is exactly right. So now we look for the block, we get unblocked, and then we go right back. We receive, and we work on our receiving, but now manifesting the next whatever we need to help support, the dreams. That's what I'm hearing right now.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. And yes, go ahead.
And what I love to do is, for example, if I want to have a manifestation, I set the intention and I ask the universe, what would it take for me to receive a horse easily? What would it take for me to take care of that horse easily, or of 6 horses easily? So I set out that intention, and then usually what happens is the answer is just flow.
Thank you. Right? Always the student first, the master second. Yes? And that's what I'm also getting, which I'm so appreciative of your energy and your sweetness, B, and Absolutely true. And I receive it. I'm taking it in right now. Absolutely. So magnificent to work on this. And and the answers are right there. So what am I waiting for? Right? Like, woo woo. It's, yes. Like, what? Let's get the party started. Let's go riding, As a matter of fact, I want to come. I've always wanted to go to Spain to ride and buy a new Andalusian from Andalusia. And you're familiar with that, yes?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I'll stop over in Germany and we'll go horseback riding. How do you like that? Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yes. And I'll say, thank you, B, right? Thanks to you. This is, because of our podcast, here it is. But I love that we want to, it's a persistent, consistent, indomitable willpower to rinse and repeat in this regard. The receiving of it, and then being open to the law of attraction, and the answers, like you said, just flow. And why am I stopping myself? Like, this is ridiculous. And you know what's so crazy is I technically have room for 28 horses if I wanted.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
Hello? Like, what? Karen, come on now, okay? What is going on, girlfriend?
Yeah.
And I know what it is.
Yeah.
And we're going to keep going with this, but I know you can relate, and so many people can relate. So it's just a matter of trusting the process. Yes, trusting that it all will come, but it comes with the digging deep, digging into the unconscious, subconscious mind, having these amazing conversations with amazing humans like you and others, so many out there, and understanding the principles or laws of attraction, and it must stay in practice the whole way through. Must stay in practice. And we do need to be reminded, every human being, no matter what level we are, because if we want to manifest our dreams, it does come with other issues that we have to deal with, that we're talking about, yes? And we can continue to build that flowy feeling, what I like to call like the dreamy feeling, yes? That everything just comes together and works itself out. So with that, B, I would love to have you come back if you'd like in, maybe next month or whenever it's meant to be, to dig deeper and talk more about the receiving and the law of attraction. Would that be possible?
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah.
Right? Because we're just getting started into the good stuff, right? As time is ticking.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like so excited right now. I'm almost like, okay, I gotta go. I gotta get outside to clean up the stall in the barn for my new horse. Oh boy, this is so exciting. Okay, so any last words of wisdom that you'd like to share?
We have touched on so many topics, and people should just remember, turn to love, become a receiver, and get out of toxic relationships.
Oh, girl, that's a whole nother podcast. Yes. I love that. Yes. So let me just recap as we close. Is number 1, get out of toxic relationships, and that includes yourself. That is you first and foremost, is get out of that toxic relationship to and with yourself. And then really mastering the art of receiving. Mastering the art of receiving, especially if you tend to be a giver. And then really meditating on, in your own way, whatever that means to you, staying so connected to source energy of pure, unconditional, true love. Love. and that will do it. So I want to thank everyone for listening. I am so excited. This has been such an amazing podcast experience for me. And because it's been a while now since I've had a guest on because I've been so busy. And so thank you. You are just so incredible. And I just love your energy. So thank you for being with me today.
Thank you so much for having me. I loved it.
Yes, thank you. And again, that's BEE, and then the letter K of the Manifesting Squad. So it's manifestingsquad.com to contact B, and she will be joining us again. And of course, you can always contact me, Karen Lovely at Gmail. And until we meet again, we are both wishing you much, much receivership, love energy, being connected to self and source, and by the law of attraction, really manifesting abundance and all of your unique dreams come true. Thank you so much.